Alright, we have learned how Amiibo work, and we know how to train them. Or at the very minimum, we know the basics. At any rate, your Amiibo are now at level 50 and you probably want to test them out against the competition. Well, we're going to show you how to find that competition. The tournaments that are out there both online and offline. So let's just make like Minecraft and dig in. That looked way stupider than I thought it would. First, tournaments always have two questions that they need to answer. Offline or online tournament, spirits or vanilla. We already covered the spirits versus vanilla dynamic in previous videos, so we won't go too much into that. If they say spirits, they likely have some limits on what spirit effects are allowed, so be sure to read up on the rules. If it's vanilla, they mean no spirits allowed and that your Amiibo must have 0/0 stats. With that out of the way, let's talk online versus offline tournaments. Now, there are various advantages and issues that come with hosting or participating in either online or offline tournament. It's best to be aware of them off the bat to find ones that work best for you. However, it's entirely the preference of the tournament organizers and the participants. So we're going to go over the strengths and weaknesses of both, as well as etiquette you should follow as a participant to be sure that you make life as easy as possible for your tournament organizers and your fellow combatants. Remember, being easy to deal with means you get invited back. That's just good life advice in general. Write that down, put it on a sticky note. You'll use that someday, you will. Online tournaments are also sometimes called arena tournaments. They will be organized on a website like smash.gg, where it's easy to coordinate with your opponents. The positives to doing an online tournament are the ability to complete a lot of matches quickly, the fact that most people already have Nintendo Switch Online access and understand how to use Smash Arenas, and how easy it is to find Amiibo tournaments through smash.gg. There are downsides to online tournaments though. For one, many people will be unable to join online tournaments either because they can't make the scheduled time, have poor internet connection, or don't have Nintendo Switch Online. This can make it hard if the hosts or opponents are on separate continents. Time zones, you will recall, are a thing. Coordinating dozens if not hundreds of people throughout a tournament is not easy. You have everyone's situations being juggled all over the world. And just like any arena, you also have to deal with lag. Look, I love Nintendo, but we can admit their netcode is shaky. Some might use a different SH word, but we're going to keep things family friendly here. Being in an arena also means you're limited to arena rule sets. That means more daring rule sets or formats can be harder if not impossible to do. It also means that if the tournament is being streamed, it can take a while to get through the final sets of matches as you're having people jump in and out of the arena. This can also lead to the downside that only the final few remaining trainers tend to get their matches commentated on. There is but one streamer and dozens, if not hundreds of matches. Short of them having Jamie Madrox's levels of being able to be in two places at once, decisions are going to have to be made. Sacrifices must occur. You also used to have to worry about people cheating by sending Amiibo with hacked stats, but in the 11.0 update, Nintendo has made it so that people who load in Amiibo with impossible stats get auto-booted from the arenas, so that downside is donezo. Thanks Nintendo, I know I crapped on your netcode earlier, but hey, you fix this, you get a kudos. The final big issue for arena tournaments is also one of its most useful tools. Smash.gg is a very powerful, very useful website that is absolutely invaluable to the Smash community. However, there is a bit of a learning curve to using it properly. I love the service it provides, but you probably have to be in a tournament or two before you really understand how to use it well. If you're not already familiar with using Smash.gg, I recommend watching this video by Peak Tournaments that explains the basics. I put a link in the description so you can watch it later. It's definitely worth the time to learn how to use it properly if you intend to play in a lot of online tournaments. Now, if you're participating in online tournaments, here are a few guidelines to follow to be sure that you are a courteous participant. 1. Make your check-in times. There's no bigger bummer for a tournament organizer or competitor for their scheduled fighters to just not show up and for someone to be like, "Wait, I'm here, why did I lose?" It's because you didn't check in, you dingus. Always check in. 2. Follow all the instructions and rules laid out to you by the tournament organizer or the mods helping them with the tournament. Don't slow things down because you didn't read the rules properly and forgot to have the wrong settings. It's rude and it's annoying. 3. Give back if you can. It takes a ton of effort, energy, and time to run a tournament. Don't believe me? Try it sometime. You're going to be shocked at all that goes into it. If you can, throw some money towards the tournament organizer. Can't do that? Just try to get more people to participate. Be active in chat and do stuff to make everyone have a grand old time. Just do something to give back a little. Engage with the community. Part of the fun of having a live event is being live and present in that event with others. Give it a try. You're probably going to like it. 4. Use a wired connection. Wi-Fi adds lag to most matches. Getting a USB internet adapter isn't that expensive, and it's worth the investment if you plan to attend these types of tournaments often. Yes, Amiibo don't suffer from latency reaction times like humans do, but it's just kind of a bummer if you showed up to watch your Amiibo fight and instead what you're watching is a slideshow. If you're doing these things often, it's common courtesy to take extra steps to make sure you're doing your part to limit latency. If you are looking to join online tournaments, the best place to look is Smash.gg itself. Just do a search of Amiibo and you're going to find tournaments very quickly. So, those are the online tournaments, but what about these offline tournaments? These tournaments don't happen through an arena, but through a single person running the tournament locally on their own Switch. In order to be able to do this, the participants send a file to the tournament organizer that is essentially a clone of their Amiibo's data called a bin file. For this reason, offline tournaments are also sometimes called bin tournaments. The biggest positives going for an offline tournament is that it gives the tournament organizer chaos control. Yeah, if it's running all on the same Switch, you can do things you just can't do reliably or at all in arenas. You can run Squad Strike, doubles, odd item formats, special smash, lagless free-for-alls, rough the puff, protect the princess, survive the steamroller. If you can dream it, you can stream it with offline tournaments. You can also more easily control what spirits are or are not allowed because you can easily check the bins to make sure everyone's following the rules. Or you can just run a normal tournament, but have it take place over days, weeks, or even months to let cool storylines develop. Things like the Pro Amiibo League, which has multiple qualifying events that lead to a round robin that lead to the playoffs, yeah, that would be a nightmare to run with arenas, but here in offline world, the tournament organizer has complete domain to run whatever insanity they wish to. Additionally, since these are being run on the same machine, there is no longer a need for an online connection or for the participant to even be online when the match starts. For this reason, offline tournaments are great for people who may have odd schedules, inconsistent schedules, horrible latency, or even live overseas. If any of these issues are something that you're running into, maybe offline tournaments are the place for you. As for the downsides, well, one of the obvious ones is that only one match can be done at a time. This means this format is not very good if you are wanting to host a one-day event. However, if you're looking to host long-term events that unfold over a couple of days or longer, this might be the format for you. But by far the biggest downside for offline tournaments is, well, how exactly do you clone your Amiibo to send this data to a tournament organizer? It's not exactly the most intuitive process, to be sure, but there are multiple ways to do it. I'll tackle those in my next video because this video is already running a bit long and this can get a bit technical. Now, I know a few of you watching this are already thinking, this sounds like too much work, I'm only going to do online tournaments. I hear ya. But if you can give me but a moment, will you allow me to show you a great reason to learn how to do this, even if you only intend to play online tournaments? Here is a little website called Amiibots.com. Amiibots is a system created by my friend Untitled1991. It's a brilliant, automated system that is running 24/7 Amiibo matches. We have vanilla matches going through twitch.tv/Amiibots and spirited matches through the Amiibots YouTube page. It is the perfect testing ground for your Amiibo because it guarantees that, over a long enough time frame, your Amiibo will get lots of matches against a variety of opponents. Additionally, Amiibots is now running multiple weekly tournaments through their third channel, twitch.tv/AmiibotsZebus. The rule sets for these tournaments are rotating through various formats and are a great way to test your Amiibo out in more competitive environments. If that sounds beneficial to you and you can't wait for the next video to come out, be sure to click the link to my Discord in the description. We have an entire room dedicated to telling you how to get your bin file off your Amiibo and onto the internet. Hopefully that can tide you over till we get our next video out. Now, with all that said, how does one find these offline tournaments? Just like we have Smash.gg for arena events, we now have submissionapp.com for offline events. This website was recently created by Ammonite and is still adding new features. It is the go-to place for anything offline, and it's only getting better. You just click on the various tournaments that are open to join, and you submit your info, and poof, you're good to go. So, what are the best practices if you want to participate in offline tournaments? What a cogent question to be asking. Truly, you are a person of discerning taste and proper etiquette. Just like online tournaments, read all the rules before submitting your Amiibo. It sucks when a tournament organizer writes text up here and people just don't read it at all. 2. Show up to the streams if you can. Obviously, one of the big draws to these tournaments is that you don't have to be there to participate. The flexibility is wonderful but shouldn't be abused. If you can watch, do watch. With all that covered, you now have everything that you need in order to find these tournaments and participate in them. I hope I did a good job showing you why online and offline tournaments have their advantages. I've participated in both and enjoyed myself, and I hope that you're going to do the same. If you found this information useful, please do give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel to let the algorithm know that you thought this was quality content. I said quality weird there, didn't I? Our next video will show you just exactly how you can take this figurine and extract its soul and send it off to fight in other tournaments. Well, it's more like cloning its soul, but, you know, that doesn't sound as dramatic. I hope to see you all live when I'm streaming over on twitch.tv/splicestream, where we're always hosting a variety of Amiibo tournaments. But I have to hurry and get this video done with because I have some new Amiibo that I want to get to training. So, until next time, if you all will stay fit, keep sharp, and make good decisions. Splice, out.